Hi. So as we talked in a different class, uh, whenever we're doing any work on our stock, we have two options. Either we have not much of the stock sticking out of the chuck here. We were trying to use a rule of thumb of maximum 2 diameters to have it sticking out. And the other option would be, what if I need to stick out more, right? And we're talking about if I have to get my stock out. Let's say I'm gonna be working. I'm gonna be turning the stock right here, so I have to stick out longer. If I'm to cut this piece like this, as I cut, I would apply force in this direction, so my piece would actually have a deflection as I cut, right? So one way of doing it is actually, as the stock is being held on this end, I can hold the piece also on that end, and then I can turn and work on the x-axis here along the body, right? So the option would be holding from this end. So the way that we have to hold from that end is actually, let me get this along the way. Oh. See, I'm gonna have to move this guy a little bit. All right. So my option would be using the live center here to actually hold the center of my piece there, right? The live center is called live center because it's gonna touch my piece here on the far end, and actually this part rotates. See, there's also another piece that's similar to this that's called dead center that actually doesn't rotate, so there's no bearing here to actually allow this to move. So what's going to happen is there's going to be friction, but for us, as we use a live center, we would just come and connect on the end of our stock here and put a little bit of pressure, so we are holding it well. All right, so how do we connect it to this end of the stock if there's no hole there? See, if I try to just push this in, it's actually going to mark on our stock, or the surface contact is going to be very small, right? So what do is we actually do what we call like a center drill there, so we can seat our live center. So one thing, whenever we move our tool and our cross slide out of the way, it's a good practice to move our chuck here, so we see if the chuck or the stock is gonna hit anywhere on this piece, because it's just so close to the chuck and to all these moving parts, right? So what we want to do is so we decided we're gonna do like a center drill right there. So I'm gonna actually push it back in so I can do the center drill. All right, now on this end we have the live stock, right? We have the live center. The live center goes on the tailstock, and right now if we try to pull it out, it's not gonna come out. So the inside of this piece here that goes on the live center, on the tailstock, it actually is a perfect mating part with the outside of the end here of the live center. So for example, this is an MT4 size, and that's an MT4 size on the other end. So what's gonna happen is the two mating parts are so matching that you're not gonna be able to pull it out. For us to pull it out, we're gonna have to move this back. See, you're gonna see here. Let's see if we can hit both sides. So I'm gonna move it back, and then at some point, we're gonna hit a center bar that's in the middle here, and this is gonna push it out, see? So that's how we remove the live center. So we can actually place a chuck here on the tailstock, and what we have to do is actually push it out again, and then now we're gonna push it in, and we're gonna have to be able to seat this key in here. So I'm gonna push it in, I'm gonna rotate until that key sits in, see? So now we're good there, right? So we can use this chuck and we can replace and put whatever drill bit or whatever we're gonna use here to drill. So this is not only used to do a center drill, but to do any kind of like a drilling on the stock there, right? So to do this, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to bring our tailstock back in. Let's see. See, I brought my tailstock back in, and now I'm gonna use this back lever here, the long one. So my tailstock now is actually not moving anymore. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move my see if I can have an angle. I'm gonna move my center drill is until I actually touch my piece there, right? So I'm gonna do this at 400 RPMs. So let me set it up here. I'm gonna set low gear. I don't need this because I'm gonna do it by hand. I'm gonna do 400 RPM, so that's the highest on the low, right? And these are all the settings that I have to do when the machine is not moving, right? Now I can actually turn on the machine, right? Let's see if I can zoom in here. And there's no zooming in, so let's see. I'm gonna move this guy in until I touch it there. And you can see there's some material that was removed. So after that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the packing movement. That means I'm gonna go one and then back a little bit. And then one, and then up, forward, and then back. And forward again, then back. And forward again, and then back. And then forward again, and then back. And then forward again, and then back. Alright. If you want to see how far we're in, then we can just actually move this guy back and move everything, and then we can look how our piece looks. But I'm just gonna show you guys something. So we're using the center drill to drill our piece, right? That means so this is whatever is the shape that we're gonna connect to this end, right? So that's gonna go there. So what happens is this is a center drill. So when we're drilling, we want to go. We don't only want to drill up to here, right? Because see like how this shape doesn't match that shape. The shape here that matches something on the center drill would be this body, would be this shoulder here. So whenever we drill, we have to drill in past this line and before that line. So we can go past that one. So then whatever is the tool that we're using on this end, that could be, so like in this case, the live center. is actually gonna sit perfectly in there, right? So this is something that we do whenever we need to work along the body. So we need to do that like a center drill. So this is how it looks. Let's see if I can position it there. So that's how it looks, right? And as I said, move this out. So I will not drill only this beginning here. I have to drill past it, but not go far enough that we go again into the cylindrical piece there, right? We have to drill up to this, somewhere in this area here, where you have that same shape, right? So that's what I did here. Good. So this is the center drill, and then now I'll be able to, I can put my stock back in here. And then I can position, I can put my live center back in. The way to put my live center back in is I'm gonna back in until this is released. I'm gonna go forward, so this would fit back in. I take out the drawbar from there. Now, I can go in. All right, now the way that we make this work, see, let's see if you can see anything there. The way that we make this work is, whenever we're close enough, I'm gonna lock my tailstock, and you're gonna see one of the levers is the lock for the tailstock. And then now I can extend my live center that way by moving the wheel from the back. As soon as I touch it, I'm gonna do maybe a quarter of a turn here on this back wheel, right? That I make it to extend out, and then now I can lock my back wheel from moving, right? That's this second smaller lever here, right? Now I'll be able to do any work along the body here without my piece deflecting that way, or up or down or in any direction. All right, good. So this would be what you do for the center drilling, and the center drilling we need to do every time that we need to actually hold the far end with the live center.